You are listening to that podcast from Atonement Lutheran Church. My name is Ryan Janke, and I'm cutting out. No, I'm not.
I think it was DJ.
Oh.
No, see, what's happening is I keep cutting out.
Oh, yeah.
And I keep moving this thing, and then it plops back down.
Oh.
It's being all goofy.
Give it some slack there.
Okay.
My name is Ryan Janke, and I am joined by Pastor DJ Laura, Dana Mashevsky, and Sarah DeYoung. What did I do wrong?
We got a new intro.
I just made it up, and I don't remember what I said.
I want to see an evolution over time of Ryan's radio voice as he's become a professional.
I figure I'm going to keep the intros that we recorded on here as blackmail one day. And when he's really high and mighty, I'm just going to send it in and bring him down a couple notches.
Are you serious? You don't remember the intro? Because if you don't, check this out.
Oh, no,
Hey, everybody, I'm Pastor DJ, and welcome to this week's That Podcast. With me, as always, is Dana Mashevsky, Sarah DeYoung, and Ryan Janke.
Yep. I remembered that. I just thought it'd be fun to... Where's the clap?
Oh, it's over here. Well, and that's part of it, too. We got to be 5 minutes late.
It's part of our brand.
Not being on.
Not being on time. All right. Well, it's been a while since we've been here all together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Sarah wasn't in the last, 4?
Yeah, that's true. We had Amy in between. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All these snowstorms, I just really started to give up. If it was going to snow,
isn't it gross?
I'm not leaving my house. I'm going to go full hermit. I'm giving up.
It's disgusting.
Hey, we had the first blizzard of spring. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
You know, if they say April blizzards, bring May lizards.
Sure.
That's how the rhyme goes.
I never heard that one. Huh. Nope.
Great. Looking forward to lizards now.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a good... For those listening, this is after Easter. We've had Easter Sunday. And Lent here is thebomb.com.
Yep.
It was so much fun. And we brought back something that's been missing for a while. And I could feel you know how sometimes you do things and you're nostalgic because you hadn't done it for a while? Mm-hmm. There was an energy and just a spirit, if you will, the Holy Spirit, if you will.
Yep.
Here on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
And we brought back the live dramas.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think everybody missed that. Just having everybody sort of there's just something different. It's no different than going to a baseball game or a football game. Just watching it on TV is not the same.
Well, you're part of the creative team, Ryan. Mm-hmm. And the scripts, that was the first drama when I got here, and I got to be a part of it. I was in the crowd.
Don't tell everybody what's going on.
No. I know how this works. Well,
I can tell them how the sausage
I read the book that the play is based off of.
You left out some really important parts.
Yeah. There was a little bit of wrong things there. A little creative.
A little bit of sway from the original script.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that it followed the same flow as the first experience that I had here. So I just didn't know if am I being nostalgic because I remember this, or is it because we haven't done this for a while?
Yeah.
And I got the sense from everyone it was because we hadn't done a live drama in a while, and that was really meaningful to people.
Yeah. And
you guys really upped the cost value on production for the boat this time around.
Yep, we did.
That the disciples rowed along in, singing "Row, row, row your boat." It was great.
I don't know where that came from, quite frankly. A big box. Yeah.
It was an upgrade from what it was.
Well, before it was two little benches,
right?
And I forget what the casing was.
I don't think there was a casing. I think we had to use our imagination.
I think for sometimes we used the benches as casing and put 4 chairs in the middle.
Oh,
that might be it too.
And then there were times we just did benches.
Right. Yep.
We're very creative.
Yeah. So now we had a real bow.
A bow, yes. Yeah. Yes. That's what the kids are saying these days, right?
Yep. Oh, they're saying a lot of things. A lot of things that you wouldn't have any idea what they're talking about.
I have teenagers. I don't understand the thing they're saying.
Lol. All right. So we, I don't know, when did this come? When did this, a package wound up in one of the refrigerators here at the church?
Yep.
When did this happen?
I received the note for it, I think. When were we going to podcast? That was when you were gone. So like,
Oh,
what, 2
a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
Sure. A couple weeks ago. We kind of took away some of the surprise here by already opening the box.
Well, I had to tell you guys what we were doing. Otherwise, it would be too confusing to do it now.
So in this box was 3 bottles.
Read them the note.
I ripped it all up. Hang on.
Isn't that the note right there in the box?
Inside.
There was a note on the outside of the box too, but
I
the
meant
one
that
that
note.
the one that you got was for next podcast, which is now. Find a box in the Ark refrigerator that is just for you. Open for the podcast and taste test if you dare. Signed, Redbeard. I think we've all figured out who Redbeard is now that we opened the box and found out what the product was inside the box.
The product gave it away.
Yep, he's I already gave away. Everybody knows that he is a he now.
Well, I feel like beard might have helped.
Well, we don't know. I mean,
You don't know that.
women can have beards.
Yep.
What are you saying?
So we've got three 20-ounce bottles of Peeps Pepsi, artificial marshmallow flavored Pepsi, the 2023 limited edition.
I just want to see it.
Peeps Pepsi. It looks disgusting.
I don't drink Pepsi, so
Same.
I don't.
I think also if you just look around the table right now, there's 2 cans of Diet Coke. We know where our allegiance lies.
I have ice cream.
Yep.
We've had entire podcasts on Pepsi or Coke,
Yeah.
and Coke wins every time. I think.
so.
I don't know, like, is there any time that Pepsi?
Why do
Or
I
Dr.
feel
Pepper.
like? Why do I feel like if I take a drink of this, the first test is I made sure that I didn't go blind.
Well,
Well, I heard if you drink enough of these, they'll give you a jet potentially.
we have.
What was the TikTok that I sent you about why the combination Taco Bell? Wasn't that because of Pepsi was
Yep.
losing money? Yeah.
That's why like Taco Bell, KFC, Pizza Huts exist.
Yeah.
So here's a question. This says artificial marshmallow.
Right. What is it? What does a Peep taste like? Nothing. It tastes like sugar. So what does that taste like? Pepsi?
Wait. Here's my question. Is there such thing as like organic marshmallows? Aren't all
Free range.
marshmallows
I see what you're
artificial?
saying. That is a good. That's a question.
Now all I'm thinking though of is, have you guys seen the meme where people see cattails growing and say that like, look at those corn dogs growing in the wild?
Well, anyway,
This takes on a whole new meaning because on Sunday, for our planning meeting before we have the broadcast, before we have worship, we have a whole team meeting.
Yep.
And go over the service. And at the end of it, I channeled Pastor Cross and I said to everyone, "Go eat Peeps and serve the Lord."
Yeah, because it was Easter.
'Cause it was Easter.
I see what you did there.
You see that? It's being clever. Hey-o.
Okay, so we've got a bit of a problem. We have 3 bottles of
have a
Peeps
cup around
Pepsi.
here.
And
I feel like one of us
4
could go and
individuals.
get like a cup. Like get
And we
some
could only
cups.
have to open one
And then
then.
we'd only have to open one.
Because for sure this will be worth something on eBay one day.
I'm
Probably.
I'm
Wee babies.
Unless you
there
want,
you
unless
go.
you like it, in which case then you can take the rest of it.
I'm assuming that Redbeard assumed that we were going to like it so much that we'd finish these off by the time we left.
I told you all when I gave you
Well,
the note that it made me nervous that there was liquid in the boxes.
Could it
so-
be that Redbeard is trying to cause some static among that podcast because there are 4 of us and he
Yeah.
only gave us 3?
Yeah.
Well, maybe
So-
because Sarah's been gone.
Someone is out.
This sounds like one of those kids puzzles that you have to do. How to
One of these
Can't
things does not
go
belong.
over it. Can't go under it.
All right, so how do we want to do this? Everybody's got to have a little bit of this.
I'll go grab a cup really quick.
All right.
Let's go grab cups.
Okay. So while she's doing that,
Should we get into one of the questions?
yeah, which one do you want? Do you want one of the ones
Start
that I gave?
I say start with yours,
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Ryan.
Yeah, we can do that. Sure.
All right, so I've got 2 questions. The first is, how old was David when he killed Goliath? I've always had this image that he was a kid, like maybe even adolescent, but he was likely in his 20s, was he not?
He was
Okay.
not.
One other thing I want to note that has nothing to do with this. It says artificial marshmallow flavored Pepsi, but then it says natural flavors as an ingredient.
What is the natural ingredient?
Natural flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they say that, what is the natural flavor that they're naming? Like, do Peeps have a natural, like, free range Peeps?
I'm just very confused.
Yeah.
What is natural flavor when you say it's in your...
This is why Coke is better. They don't confuse me this way.
Well, we're going to find out. All right. So that was the question.
Yeah. So it's a good question too. I mean, David goes to a battle that his brothers are in because Israel is going to fight their age-old enemy at that time, which was around 1000 BC.
Yep.
The Philistines. See, there was two groups that moved into the Holy Land roughly around the same time. The Israelites around 1446 BC, and from the other end came the Philistines. And so the Philistines were by the sea on the west side, and the Israelites came in from the north.
Okay.
And I believe that's what it is. They came in from the north. They came in on opposite sides and basically started vying over the same land. And so they'll go to battle, and David's family, his father Jesse, is too old. So his older brothers, at least 3 of them, go and fight in Jesse's place because it was expected that every household send a male to fight. And if they're of age over 20, then more than one male could go fight. What do you think? Did you try it?
No.
Oh. Dana's face was like in awe of the Pepsi Peeps.
I keep reading the bottle and more things.
Oh, don't read it. That's the worst thing you can do.
More things intrigued me, okay?
You don't want to know how it's made. Anyway, long story short is David is the youngest. David stays home. David is already serving in kind of a squire type role for King Saul by this time.
Okay.
Because he's, by this point, God has already announced that the kingdom will be taken away from King Saul, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And David has already been anointed, and to be the anointed one means that David is the Messiah. That's what the word means. It's where we get our word Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Jesus the anointed, Jesus the Messiah. Okay? David is kind of the example of what the Messiah is. Chosen by God, and doesn't mean things go easy for him, but that God is with him in the midst of everything. And at this point, King Saul is tormented by evil spirits, and when he's really tormented by them, David comes in and he plays his harp, and that calms King Saul. Okay? So they go off to war. King Saul is at the war. David goes home and tends to Jesse's land because all of his brothers are fighting, but Jesse then taps David to say, hey, go and visit your brothers. Oh, and by the way, go speak to the lieutenant and give him the best of your mother's cheese.
Okay.
Basically, let's keep our boys off the front line. If possible, keep him in good place with his commanding officer. Mm-hmm. When David gets there, he sees the enemy, and they're both on there's a valley, and they're both on the top of the valley on each side. And the biggest champion of the Philistines is a guy named Goliath of Gath, I think. Mm-hmm. I'd have to look at it again, but he's supposed to be several cubits tall.
Yeah, this is another question.
Yeah, and so the thinking is that...
is the question, what is a cubit?
No, a cubit's 1.5 feet.
Oh.
That's commonly known.
Kind of tradition would say that he is a giant among men. And what does that mean? Some people have translated the cubit numbers that are recorded in, is it 1 Samuel? To be like 9 feet tall.
Yeah. So in the Bible that I have, it says that he is 6 cubits and a span.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what a span is.
Isn't that common knowledge, like a cubit?
No, that's different. Oh. I think that's Greek.
It's like saying he's 6 feet and change.
Okay. In the footnote of the Bible that I have, which is an ESV, I forget who made it, but that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. It says that the Dead Sea Scrolls say 4 cubits.
Okay.
Which would be different.
Yes.
That would be like 6 feet.
Which would be more normal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which would also be...
Not for that time, though.
That would still be abnormal.
But it would still be like abnormal to them, but like for us to envision someone getting to be over 6 feet tall is not incredibly.
I want to say that
someone being 9 feet tall right even now in this age, I'm like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to say that it says that earlier in the scriptures when Saul's chosen, I want to say it says he's like 6 feet tall.
Saul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was tall for his time. And there's something about being tall too. Like people who are tall, just naturally people turn to them to lead. Mm-hmm. That was George Washington. That's
because they can see them in a crowd.
Yeah, right. They're up above. Follow that guy.
What?
No, because that's what I thought, but I just didn't say it.
Well, and like that's the thing that's said about George Washington. He was tall and he wore his military uniform to the Continental Congress, so he was gonna lead something.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
Okay, so my footnote said that the Dead Sea Scrolls said 4 cubits.
Okay.
So I mean, what gives?
To be honest, I really don't know. When you have multiple ancient manuscripts, some will say, for example, some said 6 cubits apparently,
and a
some
span,
said, and a span, and some said what 4 cubits in a span?
No. It was 4 cubits right on the button.
Oh, I honestly do not know deeper as to why the distinction in there, except that there are different translations that would have minor detail changes like that. That doesn't change the overall story.
Yeah,
because even at 4 cubits,
he was tall.
He was taller than everybody. Now, is he a giant among men? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yes, you could say. The bottom line, I think, further going into it further, is to look at the type of weapons that Goliath has and how heavy they are.
Yeah.
Against David. Now, the original question was David in his 20s? Honest answer, most likely not.
Okay.
Because if he was over 20,
He would have already gone.
He would have been either conscripted, having already being in the service of Saul. He probably would have been Saul's squire.
So you didn't have to be in the military to be an armor bearer then, because he was an armor bearer. Right?
Yeah, right. Well, so, not really. No.
Okay.
No, he wasn't the armor bearer of Saul. Otherwise, he would have been there with Saul at that time. He was in a special role, kind of like a squire. I mean, that's what an armor bearer is. But his job was to play music for Saul when the crazies hit him.
Okay, gotcha. like when your cat or dog is running around nutty.
Yes,
the crazies.
Yes,
okay.
when Saul begins acting like Daffy Duck, in would come David playing on his harp.
Okay.
I'm just imagining Paul being like the OG ASMR videos. Like, I'm getting overstimulated. I'm going to listen to somebody like gently pat on things and like pour sand.
To read it in the scripture, and I know that you've been going through the Bible, Ryan. That's where you got to this point. To read about Saul being tormented by these spirits. I mean, it's like he went banana sandwich.
Yeah.
I mean, he was cut like attacking people and throwing spears at walls, and then in would come David playing his little harp.
Yeah.
It's just, I just imagine someone being like, someone go find David, like Saul is having an episode in
That's
there.
pretty close. That's pretty close.
With the harp. Like,
Saul, relax.
So
calm down.
So for whatever reason, when Saul went off to war, David was sent home.
Okay. Well, he needed to have the crazies in war.
Like, he can have the crazies.
Like, unleash
there.
the beast.
It's
Let it go. Yeah.
We don't need the kid now.
Yep. Take out all your aggression out there.
You want to throw spears at things? Throw it over.
Just maybe not towards the wall.
Okay.
But David could have been 16. He could have been 17.
Sure. But not into his 20s.
Not into his 20s, and much, much, much smaller and younger than Goliath. I mean, we take this for granted, but I mean, Goliath was a warrior.
Yeah. Yep.
What is his job? He wasn't like, a cashier at a restaurant in his day job and just got, drafted into the army. Yeah. This was his profession. He was a professional warrior.
Right. The more you read the Bible and the more that you try, and we've talked about my brain walking me through everything before, we don't need to go back there, but when you read the story and you're okay, so now you're saying 15, 16, 17.
In my head, he's 9.
Okay.
He's my son's age.
Okay. So your son's age, right?
Right.
And he now.
Oh yeah.
Now let's walk this through, right? So let's split the difference and say he's like 13.
Sure.
13-year-old guy. His voice just changed.
Yeah.
And he's
How dare you curse the name of the Lord my God?
Yeah, and he's got his slingshot.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And he puts the stone
Like
in there.
Bart Simpson in the back pocket.
13 years old, and he slings this thing into the middle of Goliath's forehead.
Yes.
And it says that it sunk into his head.
Yeah.
And Goliath fell down.
Yep.
But then it says, 13-year-old David went over there, took Goliath's own sword, and sawed his head off.
I don't think it says sawed. Does it say like chopped? Like
say, could you imagine trying to saw with a sword?
I don't have
awkward.
I don't
took a wooden spoon and began to dig.
I'm embellishing now, but regardless, this 13-year-old just lobbed his head off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it says, and killed him, which makes me believe that he wasn't dead when he hit the ground with the stone in his forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you take someone's head off, it certainly makes sure they're dead.
Maybe
covers all
maybe
bases.
Goliath was a vampire.
Or like
or maybe David was a savage.
That could also be.
Well, yeah. Do you remember?
This was wartime, man.
That's right. When David says, "I'll fight him," Saul was like, "No."
Yeah.
You go back to playing the harp.
Yep.
But David is like, I fight the bear.
Yeah.
I fight the wolf. And the Lord is with me.
Yeah.
See, and now I'm just imagining Dylan being like.
Yeah. Well, now you think of Dylan.
But I think so. Imagine, like, this is a kid who's basically, he's job shadowed a crazy guy for how many years?
Well, that's true.
On top of it, have you met 13-year-old boys? You had one at one point.
Yeah. Yep.
Crazier things could be done.
I just don't see the 13-year-old boy that I raised cutting anything's head off.
So
well, maybe you're a better parent than
yeah, that's your kid.
So
David's.
there was a show on TV a couple years ago. I can't remember if it was on the History Channel or Discovery or something like that, where they used ancient weapons to show the effectiveness of them. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen the damage that a slingshot, I'm not talking a Bart Simpson slingshot.
Right.
I mean a real slingshot where you're whipping it around and you let that thing go. I mean,
also, it could have been a pointy rock.
Well,
well, it was smooth. It was a river rock. It was smooth, but it doesn't matter because they get going so fast.
Yeah.
That it's like a bullet.
I mean, stunned him.
Right.
Oh yeah. And so to hear about David striking him there, the whole point of the story is that just like against the bear and against the wolf and against the lion,
Yep.
the Lord was with David.
Right.
And that's the point. And so David going and chopping his head off.
And then holding it up in the air.
Oh, yeah. And what happens? The Philistines flee.
Well, yeah. So what I have.
Well, I would run from a 13-year-old.
And all the Israelites chase after him because David just took down the big dog in the park.
And cut his head off.
Off. But you know what? I mean, okay. How do I say this? I was joking earlier that I'm going to say some things today, and it's be like, well, it's fun being your senior pastor. We'll see you later. I mean, think about even a generation ago, my dad's generation, growing up in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
I'm way softer than his generation.
Sure.
But compared to my grandpa,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure he's rolling up over in his grave like these kids. They're just soft.
Those guys are
soft.
Those guys are tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, that's just going back 50, 60, 70 years in my own family.
Right.
Here you're talking going back about 3,000 years, back when they didn't have running electricity. They didn't have plumbing.
Yeah.
The plumbing, man.
Yep.
Once we got indoor plumbing, it was
downhill.
I watched this video. Someone spoke at the church just a couple of days ago and just shared a bit of their experience of living in the Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. Every day, everybody has to gather their basic necessities, and the women will walk for miles with these gigantic jugs of water on their head.
Yeah.
While peeling, beans and other things like that.
When did he say they lived there? Like the 50s? So it wasn't that long ago.
Right. Yeah. In the 60s, he was there. But that's even the practice to this day. Yeah. I mean, we are so soft in the United States.
Now we can't even text and walk without running into something.
So
Well, you can't.
Yeah. Speak for yourself.
well, and in war, here you have David who enters in to basically be a warrior. And this is the beginning of him. This becomes his profession. He is a professional warrior. And this is just the beginning of the legend of David with the defeat of Goliath. It gets a lot worse, the things that David does.
Right. But he's an adult then.
Yeah, David and his mighty men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're called, like a 50s doo-wop band.
Yep.
So that sounds very Robin Hood.
I was going to say, I literally am thinking of Robin Hood and Shrek.
Isn't that Robin Hood and his men in tights?
Yep.
Is that and his merry men? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that covered that. Are we ready to do this?
So don't think of him as being 20. When you read that story, picture him as 13.
Yeah.
13-year-old Eli.
Adds to the level of crazy.
Yep.
All right. Are we ready for this?
Let's do this.
Okay.
Make it happen, Captain.
We've got our Peeps Pop here. Peeps Pepsi.
Was that
See,
from
you
the
open
can?
it and it sounds flat.
It did? Well, it's been rolling around in that box.
Did it make
Pepsi
it-
always sounds flat.
Okay.
I will say, when I went to get these cups,
Pass it down.
I ran into the perpetrator of this in the hallway
How do you know who it was?
because they asked the right question.
Oh,
I said, I'm going to get cups so we can try it right now. And they said, to be honest, I tried it and I was conflicted. One side of my mouth was saying
Really?
one thing, the other was saying another.
Oh, man.
okay.
Almost smells like cherry Coke.
Did you already try
Yeah.
some?
No, I'm
does.
sommeliering
Oh.
It really
it.
does.
I'm
smell like
properly aerating it.
All right.
That is a delightful aroma.
The Peeps Pepsi.
I
Doesn't
guarantee
smell
you.
terrible.
I guarantee you, this will gather hornets during the summertime.
That's
Oh,
what
yes.
we'll keep it for.
Oh, yes, it will. Yep. You'll have ants all over
Smell
the place.
that?
Wait, I should have recorded this so that you could see Sarah's face.
Did you try it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hold your rating until the end.
Yeah, I'm just chomping at the bit to tell you my review
I
of this
think that
thing.
was the review. Just the look on her face was like, raw.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Dana tried it. Dana's got a grimace. DJ, he's swishing it around now. He's swishing it around. Oh, for a second, I thought he was going to go back for a little more. I just put a little splash in everybody's cup because we don't want it to go to waste.
No, of course not.
All right. You guys all tried it?
Yeah, you even try. Gotta make some dad
I
noises.
was like, that's almost worse than the flavor of it.
Ryan.
For the well-being of everybody, I muted him.
I don't think it was him doing it. It was me over here going.
It was. Well. Okay. Sarah,
I have
you're
the
first.
I have the breakdown of what it tastes like.
Sure.
Have you ever gotten bubble gum fluoride at the dentist and then went and got a Coke Icy at the gas station?
No.
No.
That's what it tastes like put together.
Okay.
Oh,
Bubblegum fluoride and a Coke Icy.
and you don't
Okay,
like
but
that.
where in there in your description is the natural flavor?
So you're saying that
That's the aftertaste.
all Pepsi really is Coke with fluoride?
Probably.
Okay.
Or it tastes like you left like the cheap, like 25-cent chiclet gum that you get from vending machine and Pepsi.
I do.
Okay.
I do taste the bubble gum.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anybody need their cup freshened?
Oh, no more for me.
I will
I'm trying
take
to
some
watch
more,
my
Ryan.
Pepsi.
Let me tell you all exactly what I think.
All right, go ahead.
It's like there's a party in my mouth and everyone's invited.
You actually want more of this?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, it's open.
The first test was after the sip, I didn't go blind.
Do you need do you need some more, Dana?
I'm good.
Yeah. All right.
I also
Oh, Ryan's
haven't
gonna go
had
back for more.
Pepsi in probably 20
I was going to say,
years,
I think
so-
that's the hard part is I've had a regular Coke probably the last 10 years. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a regular Pepsi.
I will tell you, I like this a lot better than regular Pepsi.
It's been a long time since I've had
So
Pepsi.
I don't hate it.
It's not bad.
All right, Dana.
Like,
So this
Dana's review. Let's hear Dana's review.
I don't see. Like I wish
you can really taste the natural flavor, can't you? Dana?
Right? It's just
It's
so
an artificial
natural.
marshmallow.
No, okay, but so it says, You weren't in here when I said this, but it says artificial marshmallow flavored. But then in the ingredients, it says natural flavor as an ingredient. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like.
You know what? It says that in my Diet Coke though too. It says natural flavors.
But does it say it's artificially flavored somewhere else?
No, it doesn't. No,
I like the note that says that they're here to help. We're here to help. Give us a call.
I don't hate it. I don't know what it tastes like.
Yeah, it's got I'm trying to pinpoint the flavor, other than tasting like my great grandma's couch used to smell. I'm trying to. What?
You know what? We didn't even think about this, guys. How many peeps had to give their lives for us to enjoy this? This reminds me of us. So we had the Easter egg scramble here.
Oh yeah,
awesome time. 2 hours, 2,000 people.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Easily.
Did
it felt just like Disneyland lines everywhere.
You know, something you could have Dana do if she's never not busy is have her get the.
We're working on that.
Okay, sir.
Have her get the footage from the camera down by door 11 and then count the people that are coming in.
Oh.
We should actually get the footage.
You know what?
From the cameras.
Can I don't know if this is a thing yet, but can we send stuff like that to Chat GPT and it can just tell us how many people came through? Because, you know,
Who
AI
knows
and all
what
that.
it can do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But the point I was going to make is, so we had bonfires.
Yep.
Just like we did during Halloween when we made s'mores. But this time we roasted peeps. And I was telling the kids that came up, I said, hey, have you ever roasted a peep before? They're like, no. I said, it screams.
You did not.
I said, they squeal. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad.
So then we decided, so we were roasting peeps, but it got so sticky.
Yeah, it's gross.
That we decided we need some graham crackers. So we scrounged up all the graham crackers around here. And I ran around and I found Jen, and I'm like, Jen, do you have any graham crackers? She goes, I'm a youth director. Of course I have graham crackers. So she hooked me up. And then we were having peeps sandwiches, basically.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
I remember the last time I had a s'more, I had a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And then I had ice cream shortly after.
I was like,
I remember that.
And then did you go to some other like grad parties?
Yeah. Didn't you?
I think I did.
Mm-hmm. And then didn't your dentist buy like a new Mercedes or something like that?
No, but it was just a bad scene. Yeah, I did not eat the entire next day. I forget what day of the week we did that on.
We did it on a Friday.
Okay, so Saturday I ate zero. Nothing.
Well, then I think I have a message from you that Sunday saying, I could go for a nice hot fudge sundae or something.
Yeah.
I probably could have. In fact, on Saturday night, if somebody would have said, I think we should go to DQ, I'd have been like, all right, yeah, let's go.
So good.
Yep. So anyway, I'm giving this about a 4 out of 10.
You know, I want to retract my original statement because the aftertaste is starting to get to me after, like, it's...
Like if you put this in front of me
sweet.
without telling me, like if you told me it was Coke, like a cherry Coke, I would have been like, fine, this tastes a little funny. You should maybe check your like syrup in your fountain. But like hand me the
Check
bottle.
the expiry.
I would be like, no, thank you.
So I am honestly like trying to get the taste in my mouth by drinking Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Like to wash out the taste of the peat flavored Pepsi.
Well,
Return to my ice cream.
I will say this, DJ, the truth of the matter is if you never stop drinking this, you'll never have an aftertaste. So
that's the trick. They hook you and then you're stuck with them.
tell me I'm wrong. Sarah,
You're wrong. You'll have to stop drinking it eventually. It's limited edition.
Well, then you can deal with the aftertaste at that point.
Would the aftertaste be worse?
If it's limited edition, then they make you stock up.
Oh,
Yep.
true.
And you
Right?
buy tons of it, like Cherry Zero Dr. Pepper.
My tummy hurts.
Do you think that they will make this again next year?
Well, how are their sales this year? That'll probably be a big factor, won't
Do
it?
you think it's different if it's... See, these are yellow peeps. What if they were like the blue peeps or the pink peeps? Do you think it has like a different...
Or green peeps or purple.
Or, yeah, would have a different flavor?
I don't know.
Just from the presentation aspect, I feel like a full display of like pastel peep colored Pepsis would be very beautiful looking. But
I
It would
think
be
so,
very
too.
interesting.
And it could be just like Skittles, where every color looks different, but they all taste exactly the same.
You know what? I think it
Skittles
tastes a
all taste
little bit
different.
like
They do all
Skittles,
taste
actually.
different.
Yeah.
They all have different flavors.
I think it has a Skittle flavor to it. I think you nailed it.
That's because Skittles use natural flavor and artificial marshmallows.
Really?
I don't know.
The orange Skittles are the best.
No, yellow Skittles are the best.
Absolutely not. The orange ones are the best.
No, that's not Skittle flavored.
You know, I'm just feeling the sugar though, like settle in the like hinge of my jaw.
Ice cream, so I can't tell.
I'm just worried. I have to go to the dentist tomorrow.
I honestly
legitimately, I'm worried.
I honestly think my dentist just has a big smile on his face right now, and he doesn't know why. He's just like,
it's like something happened. It's like that sixth thing.
There's been a disturbance in the force.
Somebody just got a cavity. Ding.
This segment of that podcast is brought to you by DJ's Dentist.
He'll just start sponsoring our taste tests. Yes, eat the s'mores, eat the ice cream, drink the Pepsi.
Eat all the Peep and drink the Peep flavored Pepsi you want, and then I'll take care of the rest.
Well, Redbeard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Redbeard.
It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be, but it was not great.
Yeah.
Thank you for the toothache.
Yeah.
The stomach ache.
I'm happy we did it, although I resent it.
You know what? The funny.
Well, now you
know what's really funny?
Bottle.
So here we're kvetching right now. Tomorrow, all of us are going to be just craving Peeps flavored Pepsi.
Yeah. You're just going to find me digging through the fridge like, well, I know we had 2 more bottles.
Online. Somebody's got to have it. Why do I have to finish this?
Well, because like at this point, you might as well.
There's like nothing left. It's like 2 sips.
2 sips. Tooths. All right, well, there we go. We had the Peeps Pepsi.
Do I have to finish my glass? It's really full.
Well, that was by design.
You're the one that wanted it refilled.
I know. The first taste was good. After that, I'm like...
That was by design. I'm sticking with my 4 rating, 4 out of 10.
Oh, okay, we're going to 10?
I'm going to give it a 5.
Boy,
I'm going to stand in solidarity with Sarah. Because I liked it at first, and then I didn't, and I'm kind of going back and forth. So
yeah,
we'll say
wavering. 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 5.
Wow. All right. Well, there you have it.
It is solidly just mid.
Yep. Nothing to write home about.
Okay. All right, there you have it. So, thanks, Redbeard.
Thank you, Redbeard.
Thank you.
Happy Easter to you.
Yep, and I'll thank you after we're done recording here too, probably.
There we go.
I think I know who Redbeard is.
You think you know who it is?
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure we all have an accurate guess at who it is.
Do you think Redbeard's the one who brought you all those candy corns?
I don't know.
Candy
corn. That was terrible though. That was a 2.5 pound bomb of candy corn.
Yeah, that was a lot of candy corn.
I wasn't here for that.
Well, if you would have been, they would have wound up on your desk.
Yeah.
I don't eat candy corn.
No, nobody
They're probably still around. They may still end up on your desk. I don't know if anyone ate all
You're
those
the only person
corn.
I know that eats candy corn.
Take some candy corn, some hot tamales, some peanuts.
No.
Delicious mix.
No, all of that is terrible. All of that is terrible.
My wife and my kids like candy corn too. And
Really?
They like the candy pumpkins.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
They're the... No.
I'm with you.
I would rather have a normal candy
I'm
corn
with
than
you,
a
Dana.
pumpkin.
I'm with you.
Yuck.
Yeah, I'd rather have pumpkin seeds, like actual pumpkin seeds, rather than the little
remember my mom getting pumpkins?
candy flavored.
I think so. Didn't you bring them to the sorority house in college?
My mom loves pumpkin seeds to the point that she will buy far too many.
Really?
Monsters all month long only on Noggin. I don't like candy corn. No, I don't like candy corn. I like lots of other things, but I don't like candy corn.
This concludes part 1. Tune in next week for part 2. Thanks for listening.